Dami, you're welcome. Dr. Kenya, you are there. My personal person, you're welcome. Yes, let's begin to call all our people. Let's remind them it's time. It's time. Tommy Dami, thanks for coming. Let's begin to share. Please, let's share. Begin to share it. Let's share the link so that we can have at least a great sizable number of people before we kick off. Yes, we are ready. Let's begin to share so that we can all have. we are really enjoying the background song titled Oba by Tush. Yes, a very great, powerful worship song by Tush. We'll be hosting him very soon. We're having him in our midst in a few minutes. So go download the song. It will bless your soul, your spirit. I'm already electrified. Yes, in another 2-3 minutes we are going to start. So please, let's keep sharing this link. Let's remind our people. Johnny Saul, thanks. I see you. So I'll just quickly do a recap. A recap of last week, our last episode, for those who were not there, so that we can be in tune with what we are going to be doing today, because we are taking it further this evening. We spoke about strife extensively, why there are strifes, why we have strife in our choir, and Tush took us on a journey, and he made us to understand that strife started right from the Bible days between Cain and Abel. It's been something that has been from the beginning, so it's not strange, so to say. It's something that we have, that has always been there. And he said, even husband and wife do have issues, brothers and sisters and all that, but that does not mean that because of the issue they had today and they will not, they'll kill themselves and there will be no tomorrow. They settle and move on. So even in a choir unit, there will be issues, but ability to settle it and move on quickly. Then he talked about the frequency of it, which is also a problem. And he dwelled more on why we have strife in our choir. Yes, one of the reason he said was the first reason he said I can recall. He said when everybody wants his idea to be the top idea, you think that your idea must be accepted. Because you have a very beautiful idea, your music director must accept it, and when he doesn't accept it, you have a problem, and that is where the strife begins to raise up its ugly head. Then the second point was when people are trying to change people, nobody can change anybody, because you are not Jehovah El Changer. I remember that word very well. You can't change anybody, so let's stop trying to change everyone. The Holy Spirit is the only person that can change a person. So don't take that as your occupation in the choir, to look out for other people's weakness and begin to try and fit them into you, to look like you or to be like you, act like you. Not everybody will be as conservative as you are. Not everybody will be as will I say on the high type like you are. Everybody has their own. Some people have a blend of the both. Some people are just on low right there, some on the high up there. But whatever classes of people you have in your choir, don't try to force them to be like who you are. So another point he said was that when you don't realize who you are musically, you lose your sense of identity. When you have not gotten yourself, you have not known your onions very well, you lose your identity and there will be problem. And I really identify with that, really. When you have not yet mastered your own craft or known your onions properly, and when you get to the choir and you see that some people are really having it, like that, you begin to feel somehow, and because you have not yet gotten to understand your own self musically. So that is another reason why you might be in strife, or there might be strife in choir. That the moment you are in the wrong place, the moment you are in the wrong place, you will have a strife. You will have strife in the choir. There are some choirs units that have been set up from the beginning to be a war zone. You have no business being there. So the best thing for you to do is to find yourself out of that area. Then another thing is said, Oh, Brother Damola Ogutoyibo, thanks for coming. Good to have this powerful man of God in our midst. God bless you, sir. It's an honor to have you here. Okay, so another thing he said, I'm doing a quick recap of the last episode before I call up our speaker here. So he said, when there are immature people in the choir, we have a lot of strife. When people begin to major on minor things, when people begin to dwell on little petty things that doesn't matter, then we begin to have a lot of strife. When the choir is filled up with people with a particular mindset, then we begin to have all this, thing going on. Then when we are not going on the same direction, you'll be shocked that most people in the choir don't share the same vision with the choir. For all you care, they just want to be in that choir because they know that it will give them an advantage of using the altar, the church as a venue for their own personal concert or something. So they are there like to exploit indirectly, you understand? So they don't really care what's going on. They are not there. They are not on your side. They don't send the choir. That's what the word. They don't send the choir at all. They are just there. So these are amongst the things he said. Then he also went further in talking to the music director that we shouldn't show favoritism and partiality as a music director. Let your dealings with the choir member be so transparent, be so open that everybody will see what is going on, and it not be like you are doing something because you have a special interest on something. We talk about special coolers or recharge card or something, you understand? But it should be like fair enough for everyone. So when we take away all those things, it helps us. It helps to reduce the strife. That's the cause of strife in the choir as well. They also said we talked about the strife between leadership when we have too much structure in the choir. Like we had a scenario the last time when we discussed about a particular choir that before they pick a song, they have to tell the state, the pastor in charge. The pastor in charge will have to tell the parish pastor, music parish pastor. Before the parish pastor, he has to take it up to. So they have so many hierarchies before they now agree on the song to be sang on Sunday. And you can see that this thing drags even till Sunday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning. They are still arguing within themselves. Everybody's trying to show I am in charge. I'm the boss here, and this is the song we must take. And all those too much structure kills the whole thing. You understand? So this amongst many things that was said last time, and I believe that we got so much from it. And for you to really have full dose of it, you can go to my page and watch the last episode. So without wasting much time, I think we can start from here. Please remember quickly to share with friends, and any choir member quickly give it to them. Everyone needs to be to benefit from this. Everybody needs to learn from this information coming our way, not just information, this truth coming our way. Because I said something on my social media handle. I said people think that fornication and adultery are the only big thing that scatters a choir, but I have come to understand that strife is another big thing, elephant in the room, that can ruin any choir. But because it's been underrated, it's like, no, it's not really, like that. So we allow it to grow, and it grows like cancer, spreads inside until everything just blows open and scatters, and you'll be shocked by the devastating effect it has on our choirs. And this is something that really grieves the heart of God, when a choir unit that's supposed to be a family, supposed to be a place where mutual respect is there, a place where iron sharpeneth iron, a place where we can serve God together in joy and love, has now become a war zone where it becomes the survivor of the fittest. And it's saddening that our choir has been reduced to that, and we are still under the mindset. So far the choir is going well. So far people are still clapping for us. So far people are still rolling on for while we are singing, we are good. But what is heaven saying about us? if we still have such things in our midst. I said last time that some stripes, you can actually smell them from your gate. As you step into the rehearsal for the first time, you can know that this thing, he carry wrapper, he carry a tie for here. The stripe there, in fact, even among those that speak in tongues more, in fact, that is where the stripe really is raised to power 100. Praise, I say praise God. Yes, praise God. We're in church. Sorry, I'm used to such slogan. That is our life now, you understand? So, without wasting much time, please join me as I bring up Tommy Tush to take us further in our discussion. Yo, hey, welcome to my tambourine today. You're welcome. Oh, you're welcome, sir. You're really welcome, Tommy Tush. Everybody, please let's give it up for Tommy Tush. It's an honor. It's an honor to have you. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. Oh, yes,
I can hear you.
Our service today, and trust that service went well today. I know Sunday is a very busy day for most of us, but thank God that you were able to make it. Thank you so much. So without wasting much time, let's just go. Because before we know it now, I know when we start, everything we got going, before you know it, the time has gone. So we are going to really take it further today. And please, if you have questions, don't wait. Start dropping them now, so that we can handle all questions. I know we have so many running. I know many that had to chat me up with questions. So we are going to treat them right now without wasting time, so that we can all take in the full dose of it. Thank you so much. Tommy Tush, can you hear me? Yo, you can hear me. Okay, so choir drama strife, nation part 2. We cannot exhaust this topic. It's something that we have to know. Last time we had so many revelations about so many things that were said, why there is strife. And we could really see that, okay, these are the reasons why there is strife. So I want you, Tom Tush, to shed more light. How can we, now we know why we have this strife, how can we actually manage it? Can we actually eradicate it totally? Or can we manage it? And how can we manage it? Because I know the music directors are here listening to us, and some that will still listen afterward, they want to have. Because I sense that there will be a choir in trouble right now. The strife has gotten to the highest pitch. It's at left stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. It's now at the last stage, in which if nothing is done, you just see that everything just scatters. So I want you to address that as you have the floor now.
Yeah, thank you so much. I celebrate everyone joining us from all over the world. Okay, so last time we spoke about things that cause strife. So we want to look at how can it be managed, or can it be eradicated? I would say that it can be eradicated. Of course, what we cannot eradicate is there are times where there may be misunderstanding within a team, or times where emotions may be high. That one is normal, but it doesn't mean that there will be strife. All right, it's just like you saying that. So let me use relationship as an example. You can say that a couple or people in a relationship, there would be times where there may be misunderstanding, or one party may be on a very bad mood, and somebody else is trying to you are in a bad mood, somebody's trying to laugh at your spouse, trying to laugh with you, and then you're like, look, I'm not in that mood. Now that's simply a misunderstanding. Okay, maybe you just step on each other's toes, but it doesn't mean that must result in violence, where maybe the husband now raises his hand on the wife, or the wife raises his hand on the husband. So what I'm trying to say is that in a music, we'll have times where you're just in a very bad mood, and somebody says something that really doesn't get at you, and then you react. That's a simple misunderstanding. That is not right. So I'm saying that so that we can be able to identify, because the moment there is no misunderstanding, or the moment there is no little friction in the team, obviously what's happening is some people are lying to another. You are lying to each other. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are not lying, if you are truthful, there is no way you won't. I mean, if I'm just myself, somebody else will come and say something or do something, and I may not just like it. Then what I would do is to tell the person, what you said last time, I really don't like what you said. Now the moment I wear my heart out saying that I don't like what you said, what I just did was I was truthful to myself. I didn't hide my feelings. So you know that, okay, next time, don't say this. Don't say that, why are you adding weight? I don't like the way you said it. It makes me, it's like you are body shaming me. So when I come like that, so I just came out to you plain. And so you understand that next time, even if it's cover or you feel like I'm adding weight, don't tell me that I'm adding weight. Just keep it to yourself, or rather tell me, wow, you are really looking, I love this, your cheeks, so I really love it. Now, you now know it. So in that situation right now, I have already told you how to avoid strife. I've already told you how to avoid any form of misunderstanding between us. It's about knowing what to say. So there are some times that you don't say some things. Sometimes you just keep some things to yourself. Keep it on the inside. So I'm going to say number one thing that every music team must do or must have is, I think every music team must have a vision. There must be a vision. There must be a vision. One thing a vision and a mission does to you is that it helps you to stay focused. So you know where to expend your energy and where not to expend your energy. There are some things now. So for example, right now, if you have a vision, if you have a goal, if somebody gives you ₦1,000,000, there are some things that you will think of, there are some things you will not think of. So for example, I have a couple of goals for the year. I have projects that I want to accomplish. I have a lot of things that I'm working on. So if somebody gives me ₦10,000,000 right now, I won't think of going to the club. I won't think of going to spend it on some frivolities. I will think of the projects that I have. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm probably calling one video director that I've spoken with that, okay, you know what, that video we want to do, I think it's time for us to do it. I'm talking to my producer, I'm doing all of that. So when you have a vision, when your choir has a vision, it helps everybody to stay focused. So when we come together for rehearsals or when we come together for services, everybody is focused on what we want to achieve. We're not trying to undo fires, or we're not beating around the bush. Many times when music teams engage in strife, is because there is nothing worthwhile to expend energy on. So you know what happens? Because energy is an emotion. So what happens is that you want to use up that energy anyhow. So if you don't have any reasonable goal to spend the energy on, fight will come in. Fight will come in. That's what happens, because there's no goal, there's no song you are recording, there's no project you are working on, so the energy is on the inside. So what will happen is that you will want to fight, you want to shout, but if the shout is on your inside, why not take the shout to the studio and then just come on, make a joyful noise, everybody shout.
Can you hold on here and let me hold you up here? Now somebody might be asking that, okay, what if I'm not the music director, but I'm a member of a choir, and my choir don't have a vision, my music director don't have a vision, all he just wants to just gather, sing and go. What can I do? How can I, what can I do in that scenario?
Okay, so let me start from the scratch of that. The first thing that I would say is that before you join a choir, make sure that you try to find out, don't be carried away by their music or the paparazzi. Try to find out, what does this choir stand for? What's their vision? What's their mission? Don't ever join a choir that doesn't have projects, that don't have goals, that don't have set missions. So that's warning to everybody. But let's say you have now joined one, and then you now discover that there's nothing, everybody's just coming together every Sunday to just sing a song, and you're not the choir director. One thing you can do is that you can go on your knees.
Go on.
The Bible says that the art of kings is God. Right? Go on your knees. Pray. Pray for your leader. Begin to pray for the leader that open your eyes. God will begin to show your leader, vision. Because the truth of the matter is that the destiny of that choir is on that leader's head. No matter how anointed you are as a member, your leader is visionless. He will drive you into the bush. So you have to understand that if your leader doesn't have a vision, if your leader doesn't have a map or a direction to or a purpose to which is taking the team, what will happen is that all of you will enter the bush. It is where if you are in a plane, wherever the pilot lands in the cockpit, that is where everybody whether you are in first class or you are in economy or you are in business class, everybody will land in the same spot. If the pilot decides to land that plane in the bush, everybody's landing in the bush. Even if you in first class, even if you know how to fly, so far you are not the one in the cockpit. Everybody will land in the bush. So go on your knees and pray for your leader, that God will give that leader vision, that God will open his eyes, that God will enable him, that leader to be able to, give direction to the team. That's the first thing you can do. The second thing I would advise you to do is leadership is always not by position. There is positional leadership, but there's leadership by attitude and by disposition. So there is leadership by position, and then there's leadership by disposition. So while you are on your knees praying for the team, one thing you can do is to begin to exemplify leadership. Begin to lead by example. All right? Begin to make some leader. Okay? Try to make suggestions to your leader in a way that you are trying to give your leader ideas that he or she could execute, but you are not trying to take the glory. Because one thing you have to understand is that no matter how anointed and how humble your leader is, the moment your leader senses that you are trying to take the glory, the leader becomes defensive. Every one of us will do that, no matter how anointed we are, no matter how humble we are. Okay, it happens in families. The moment a wife whether you are in a relationship or you're already married, the moment you are trying to lead in that that you always ensure that you ensure that the edge keep, you give it that position. So make suggestions to your leader. Can we do this? Can we do this? Make all those suggestions. So your leader is already beginning to see that somebody in this choir is seeing differently. Another thing you can do is that start whatever you think that is not happening in that choir. You start doing it. Start doing it. Be the one to be the example. Okay, maybe you feel like the choir should start writing their songs of their own. You start writing songs. If you can't write songs, begin to talk to people that can write songs. Why don't you write a song? Bring the song. Maybe the person says that if I write a song, MD will not allow us to sing it. Tell them, no worry, don't worry, write it. And then while the person has written the song, on a day that there's no rehearsal, gather people together and say, you know what, Sister Janet just wrote a song. Can we practice it together? You guys practice, record it. By the time you do that, let the MD know, MD, Sister Janet has a very lovely song. I know that we already plan to do one Ezekiel Walker song for Sunday, but we can listen to Sister Janet's song. You are already taking steps to show that, okay, there are some things that we can do. See, the moment you are doing those things, the choir is already coming together. There's unity. And the moment we are joining together something, there's no way we will fight. We are coming together to accomplish a task. It's very difficult for us to fight at the same time. So I think that if you are not the MD, that you can do. These are the things I would advise you to do in this situation.
I think it's just, I think you have said it all. There's something I picked from what you said. Leadership is not just by position. Somebody's asked a question, will that work for an insecure leader? As in what you have said. Now somebody's asking, will it work for an insecure leader? Because we all know that a leader who is insecure, no matter the approach you give, there will always be something. So Tommy Tush, can you respond to that comment? As in, will that work for an insecure leader? What do you do in that scenario?
Okay, so what I'm going to say here is, number one, if you are not the leader, be very, very careful not to start classifying your leader as either secured or insecure. And I'm going to explain why you need to be careful doing that. The moment you classify your leader and you put your leader in a particular box, it shuts off your mind and your creativity on how to take things forward in that team. No matter the moment you put your leader in a box that this guy or this lady is insecure, what happens is that your creativity and your mind shuts down, so you can't think of any other thing, because if anything happens, just here, if you tell him, he will not listen. If you tell her, he will not listen. If somebody brings up a conversation and say, they heard that so and so and so and so happened, without even listening to what really happened, without details. You understand? So be very, very careful. There are times that you can see some signs of insecurity in your leader. Don't immediately think that leader is insecure. Sometimes try to find out. See, there are times that leaders are acting in certain ways, and it's simply because of where they are coming from or what they are going through. I'm telling you, because of where they are coming from or what they are going through. So what you are seeing is actually the real trait of that leader. It's just because of what that person has gone through before. I don't know why I keep on trying to use relationship as an example, or marriage as an example today. So imagine that you meet a lady who probably has been in abusive relationships before, and the abusive relationships are maybe guys that are in politics or guys that are leaders in certain spheres, and those relationships broke up, and then she's now meeting you, and then you too, you are a leader, maybe you are a CEO or you are a leader in church or something. The moment she realizes that you are also a leader, her antenna goes up, and so she starts relating with you somehow. Now, it will be wrong for you to blame her, to think that, oh, this is the way she is. No, she's reacting that way because of what she has gone through. So I can't really say that, oh, something is wrong with this lady. No. So sometimes you need to find out, why is this leader acting this way? Could it be because of the background? Some of them have had negative experiences. Some of them have had, certain experiences. So don't be very careful in classifying your leader as insecure. Of course, if a leader is insecure, there are some things that cannot work. So for one thing, I can also tell you that, except you are not meant to be in that choir, or except that leader is a devil, there's a way you can break through the walls of insecurity for a leader. You can close walls. And I'm going to go back to what I said. Get on your knees. Get on your knees at home. Get on your knees at home. You see, except certain things are not meant to work, there's hardly anything you cannot sort. Except it's not just except you're not meant to, and except it's not your battle to fight. See, it's just like, for example, there are some relationships that they are not meant to work. They are not meant to work. You understand? No matter what you do, they are just not meant to work. In that situation, no matter what you pray, no matter the amount of counseling you go to, it's just God is already leave. This is a devil. I don't want you to marry a devil. I don't want you to be in a relationship with a demon. So leave. So there are sometimes some music teams, they are not even meant to be there. They're just meant to leave, right? But is that in many situations, there are things that you can sort in the place of prayer. So if you get down on your knees, even when it's a choir that you're supposed to leave, when you get on your knees and start praying, God will reveal to you. So God will tell you, okay, you know what? Pray about this thing. Matter is close. God, take your legs, waka. And if it's a situation that prayer will sort out, on your knees, God will give you strategies. Okay? God will show you how you are praying. God will show you how to break through that hard wall of that insecure choir director or that insecure director. God will begin to show you what to do. God will tell you that, you know what? Send a message. Just ask, hello MD, how are you doing? I just called to check up on you, to know that you are fine. God may tell you, buy lunch, do this. God will start giving you instructions. God may start telling you, God may even show you why you are praying, that the reason why that MD is insecure is because of what he's going through in his marriage. because there's one woman at home in his life who is trying to punch him punch his ego down. So when it comes to choir, any woman in the choir just brings up a front, like, because he sees his wife in you. You know what I'm saying? That times like that, there are times that if a woman is the MD, because the man in her life or the man in her house is married, is behaving to her and is trying to tell her to submit. The moment she comes to choir and any other man tries to feel anyhow, she will begin to see her husband in you. So you will think that she's pure. So while you are praying, God may show you that the reason why this your female MD is acting this way for some marital troubles or relationship trouble. So while you're God can help you to either pray that those troubles will get sorted out, or while you are, God will tell you, God will give you an advice. It may just be that you just friendly to that your female MD, and then while you are getting friendly to her, you just tell her that, you know what, man, I know that I'm not meant to talk about this, so but when I was praying for you, God just showed me some things. I know that of the truth, you are a nice person. You're not really difficult, and all that is happening because you are experiencing some troubles in your relationship. I'm not trying to try. I don't want you to discuss your private matters with me. I don't want you to know that I understand what you are going through.
Empathize.
This choir, I'm here to support you. All of us, we are not trying to see the choir go down. We are here to support you. We are here to see the choir get better. All that we are doing is just to make things get better. Don't see us as enemies. She will melt.
Yeah.
Even me, as I'm saying it right now, if I am the one,
Some people talk the way rat. Yeah.
Like
Proverbs said it. True.
So that's just it. But so for the case of an insecure leader, when you get on your knees, you will pray, and God will start, and then you start thinking of strategies. And for any leader, there's always a weak point in a leader. There's always a soft spot in every leader. Just find out that soft spot. And there's a soft spot. This leader, that maybe it is football, maybe it is something. Find out the soft spot. So if it's me now, even though I don't think I'm insecure, but if it's someone like me now, just buy me chicken. Just buy me chicken.
Oh my God. I think the emphasis here is a place of prayer. Every choir member, apart from you being a choir member, you are also a prayer intercessor for your choir. The moment we leave prayer out of it and feel that we can just use our own talk, our own words, then it backfire. So I think the emphasis here is that we should take home is that prayer is key, because this thing called strife is a spirit, and the only thing that can combat it is also a spirit. So a spirit versus spirit. You can't use your body, you can't use your carnality or in your fleshly state to combat it. So I think that's what I got really from this, and I'm sure that we are all taking note of this. Every choir member is a prayer intercessor.
From what you said now, let me just say, let me drop in something. There's something I was telling the MDs. So I'm having a training. We've been having a training since last month for music directors. There's something I shared with them, I think about last week or 2 weeks ago. I spoke about the way territorial spirits affect music teams. That is, things that are happening in your choir that is not really about your choir. There's a spirit and a mindset in your city, in that environment, that is causing what's happening in your choir to happen. So there are times when you need to be stubborn in your spirit and stubborn in strategy to overcome it. One of these, there are times that in your city there's a spirit of mediocrity, and it happens in many cities. In Nigeria, for example, south of Nigeria, you just know that there's no choir in that city that is excellent. If you observe it, that hardly any choir in your city that is top-notch excellent, there's a territorial of mediocrity in that choir, in that city. And if you have to break through, you have to break through first of all in the place of prayer, and then you have to be stubborn. You have to be stubborn, because mediocre excellence in many parts of Nigeria only responds to stubbornness. If you are not a map, say that. You can put me on record You can say it anywhere. I don't want to mention. There's a particular choir that I know. Now, I was telling some guys that I can't join that choir. I can't join that church for certain reasons. But the choir is very, very excellent. One of the things that is making them excellent is there is a stubborn Mafian attitude that the culture of the church brings, and that makes that choir to thrive. You understand? Now, there will be other things that you may not like about them, but they have a stubborn nature. If you are not stubborn in Nigeria, you cannot be excellent. Why? Because the spirit of mediocrity is very, very strong. Anytime you are trying to do, everybody just believes that why are we doing why are we having hours now? Why are we wearing costume? Why are we dressing too much now? It's not just Sunday service, it's not just Wednesday service. Why are we doing too much? Mediocrity is very strong. So if you are going to break through that spirit of mediocrity, you've got to be stubborn. And there's a lot of there's strife also. Is a territorial spirit. So many times for you to break through, you need to be stubborn. You need to go on your knees and say, "No, what? We are going to achieve peace in this choir, whatever it takes." So that's where that prayer. You have to be a praying person. Let me just stop there.
We say that stubborn to be resilient. I think what it meant of that stubborn, resilient, as in tenacious, be consistent, as in just like that. Keep eating that wall, keep eating it until it budges. I think that's what he meant by it. I want to take you back to what you said before about vision. We see that this is something that is key, and we have talked about when we realize that the place we are in, it lacks vision, what we can do, and all about that. So now, if you find out that sometimes the choir vision or the music director, it has a vision and all that, sometimes it gets frustrated because it doesn't align with the church vision. So there's this strife that comes up all the time. How can we undo that? Because we see so many, especially during Christmas time or festive season, when the choir is already packed up with their budget, what they want to do and everything, and when they take it in front of the Baba, they say, no, before you know, you begin to see grumbling, and we know all these things now. We have been here for so long. So can you just shed more light? What can be done in such a very practical situation like this?
So the first thing I would say is that in the first instance, you should not even have any vision that doesn't tally with the vision of the church.
Please, let's write that. Very key. Do not have any vision outside the church vision.
Yes, don't. So whatever vision the choir is having, tally with the mindset of. So if you discover that you are having ideas that is not in line with what the church wants, then maybe you have outgrown that church, and probably it is time it's getting close, or it's already time for you to leave. If all the ideas you are having, if what God is showing you and all of that is good, and is excellent, but it's not just in line with what the church wants, perhaps it's time to leave. Yeah. Look at, for example, Abraham and Lot, they began to fight. I know what Abraham said. Abraham said, "Look, we don't need to fight at all. You just look around, any piece of land you want. Go. If you go to the north, I will go to the south. If you go to the south, I will go to the north." So there are times that separation is just imminent. So times where God will call you to be in a choir or to be in a church for long or forever. And there are times where it's going to be just for a season. And you have to know when it is time to goodbye. There are times like that. I know that we don't want to say those things because it feels like, many times in the Pentecostal world, or even in many churches, the moment you leave a church, everybody sees you as enemy. I have left our church. Why have you left our church? But no, the person left your church. They have not left Jesus. They left your church. They are still in the kingdom of God. All right. So the moment you are seeing things, and those things are valid, and those things are kingdom, but church is now saying no. One thing you can do is, if you can have time to sit down with your pastor and share the vision with them, let them know that, okay, this is what you have in mind. It's not about you. So that's another thing you must check. I hope that the vision is not about. Make sure that make sure that you package the vision in a way that the pastor is seeing how the vision will benefit church. Because trust me, everybody is selfish.
An average human being is selfish.
Yeah. See, many times, let me be honest. I'm sorry, pastors that are here, you know. Many times pastors are trying to see, because many times pastors think that we musicians, we are trying to take the shine, we want to blow. So anything we are just from our head. So sometimes pastor wants to know how this vision will benefit the church, how it will bring more souls to the church. You know, that's what pastor wants to know. So sometimes you need to sit down and think, what's that? What I'm talking about me. It's going to benefit it's going to benefit this church. It's going to benefit, all of us. So sit down with them and explain. By the time you sit down with them and explain, maybe what you will now have to do is you will need to cut that vision to primary level. So there's a small level at which you can achieve that thing. So let's say you want your choir to be like elevation music, and pastor, and maybe that vision is already too big for your pastor to undo. You can cut it to a small size. Say, okay, there's a way we can achieve this thing without getting to elevation standard yet. Okay, so I've said two things right there. Number one, sit down with your leader, share the vision with them, let them see how that vision will benefit the church and the choir.
More than yourself.
Number two, if you feel that if they are thinking that it's too big, can they handle it? Let them see a small way you can achieve. There's always a small way to achieve a big. Let them see it. Understand? Number three, I would say that there is a way you can begin to achieve a vision without even telling anybody that you have a vision you want to achieve. You will just be smart. There's a way. You want the choir to start doing certain things. You want the church to start doing certain things. Let's say you want the church to start featuring artists within the choir instead of inviting artists. You tell them, they don't listen. No problem. For those artists, instead of doing Ezekiel Walker on Sunday, do songs written by choir. If you have projector, put it there. No way by
like
so let the artist, be the one to lead the song. So powerful. And like, wow, you mean this song is not by Franklin? No, it's not, and it's not Ashakov. You mean that Sister Funke wrote the song? Yes. Don't worry. First Sunday, second Sunday, third Sunday. After a while, there was people in church will even start saying that I think that in fact some of them, they want to have program in their offices. They will not invite Mike Abdul. I'm sorry if Mike Abdul is listening to this, respect to you. They will not invite TV. They will just say, there's one song that Emmanuel sang in our church. That guy is good. I've seen it happen. In my choir where, I allowed some of my team members to sing high life praise and alujo praise in church. And then when somebody wanted to have wedding, instead of going to look for one big artist, they invited our worship leader. That worship leader did one high life Thanksgiving session. That means the person is good. And they paid the person. So there's always a way you can achieve something without letting people know. That you are achieving.
Okay, let me cut you short. Somebody quickly asked a question. He's saying, how do you know, when your music director is not musically inclined and is limiting the outcome of the choir? This is when your music pastor, it said when your pastor does not know anything about music and is limiting the choir, what do you do about that? I know this is a scenario that cuts across everybody. Most of the time, there's always a clash. I think you should also shed more light to this as you go on.
I really don't know what. because naturally nothing concerns the pastor with the choir.
But
Nothing concerns pastor with the choir.
hold on, please, hold on. Let me interject you there, because we have seen that most of the time, all these good choirs we see out there, they have pastors that have good love, sound for music, love for music. You see that they always have one of the best choirs.
Yeah.
But pastors that don't even send music, in fact, music is like a distraction to them. What do you, as a music director in that place, how do you manage that? We know we have said prayers and all that. What other things?
So let me put myself in that shoe. If I have a pastor that is maybe a pastor over the choir, and the pastor does not send music, and the pastor is actually limiting the choir growth, after prayer, the first thing, next thing I would do is to go and meet the senior pastor. That's if that senior pastor is not the one in the choir, I'll go and meet the senior pastor. And I open up to the senior pastor that this is the situation. Oh, these are the things that I want to do, and I want to do it for the choir. But so there's always a way. So let me give it. When I was directing music, in the city of Ibadan, in my time directing music, I had two pastors who were my direct oversight. Two pastors. So the first one was musically inclined. He loved music and all of that. The second one wasn't musically inclined. But I didn't have a challenge with the second one who was not musically inclined, because he wasn't trying to control the way I run the team. The only interface I had with him was if I needed to get something for the choir, I go through him and say, okay, we need to do this, maybe the choir needs to rehearse, and then we need to get the diesel running for the gen running, or we need to get some instruments and all of those things, and we need to write a budget. I go through it. When it comes to the song to sing, who is singing what, how is the choir being run, what is happening, he doesn't dabble into it. Until today, I respect him for that. Of course, we had our own misunderstandings when it comes to administration, but when it comes to the music, it didn't hinder my work. In fact, I did well in that. So that is the way it's supposed to work. Now, if, for example, I had any of them that happened to not hinder my work, I will go to my senior pastor, because I also have a relationship with my senior pastor. So that's why you, as a MD, have a good relationship with your senior pastor.
With your senior pastor.
So it's not like that. Yeah, so in this situation, you need to bypass protocol. You need to. If not, nothing will happen. So go and meet your senior pastor, share what you want to do with your senior pastor. Let your senior pastor now know that the reason why you are coming to meet him is you feel that your pastor over the choir is not really seeing it, and that you don't also want it to look like you are bypassing him. So you have to be very smart, because there's a so that under the boss.
Terrible.
Yeah. Tell your pastor that, okay, that but that if you see that your pastor buys into that idea, then I know, pastor, thank you. I shared this thing with a minister or pastor so and so. He wasn't really seeing it. I understand. I don't have any issue with him, because he's not really musically inclined. That's why I said, let me come and meet you. If we have to achieve this, I don't know how we can do it so that Pastor Kimi or Pastor Kule will not think that I bypass you. I bypass him to come and meet you and all of that. So if your pastor too is very wise and he buys into your idea, he will just call for a meeting. And pastor is there, you are there, all of that, and they'll start saying, okay, can we do new things in our music team or in our other teams? And then you share your idea, and the pastor will say, Pastor Kule, what other people? Obviously, your idea will come out wrong. But if the decision is now so tight that not all the pastors are against the vision, are against the progress of the team, my brother, my sister.
Let us go. Oh my goodness. Wow. Time. My God, never knew time has really gone like this. Man. Okay, as we wrap up, I want us to talk about favoritism in choir, because we know that this is one of the things that cause kata strife. We started it last week, but I want us to take it home. Favoritism.
Favoritism. What is favoritism? So let me define what favoritism is. Favoritism is when or someone, a leader, gives somebody if you cannot lead a song and there's somebody that can obviously lead that song and they are giving that person the song to lead, that's not favoritism.
Yeah, girl.
That's not favoritism. Yes, you cannot. If you can lead a song and you did not score the song, and there's a particular brother Samuel that is always scoring the song, and there are only two of you that are really good at song leading, and you did not score the song, and brother Samuel scored the song more than you, I will give the song to brother Samuel. That is not favoritism. So, because there are many things that people call partiality and favoritism, sometimes we need to define it. Because this is ministry. Excellence is important. Excellent music ministry is important. We have a song, and as the MD, I say, we are doing this song. Go, 5 of you say you are scoring the song. Fine. We come for rehearsal. We now begin to try each of you to lead the song. 2 of you did not score the song. It was in rehearsal that you now plug your white AirPod. Now start trying to listen to the song. You the number 3 person, you now scored the song very well. Only 2 people have scored the song very well, and this happened week in, week out. The MD will give the 2 of them the song. Continue giving them. That's not favoritism. Favoritism is now when it is obvious that somebody else can do this thing equally or better, but MD chooses somebody else who probably does not have that capacity. That's favoritism. So that's favoritism. So because you have to know that this person can do it, why did they allow him to do it? So when that happens, what you now need to do, if you are not a victim, walk up to your leader.
Walk up to your leader.
Walk up to your leader.
And
say, sir, I want to know. I felt that I led that song very well. I did it very well, but you didn't allow me to do it. You gave it to Sister Janet. Is there any reason why that happened? Because many times we assume. So let me give you. Let me tell you something that happened one day. There was a time we were rehearsing a song. I already told somebody to lead the song. I told that person to lead the song. It was a special service in church. So after we had rehearsed, Pastor was now asking me, why people leading worship lead the song? And I said so and so and so person. And the pastor said, you know what? I want that person to lead. Can somebody else lead the song? I said, okay, sir. So I told someone else to lead the song. And I told this other person that, you know what? You won't be leading the song again and all of that. And the person was still on stage, backed up everything. You know that during service, choir sang well, pastor came on stage and mentioned it. That I think whether during service or during workers' meeting, I can't remember. And he said that he was actually looking out at this person to see whether the person would give attitude. Right? He didn't allow me to lead the song. Now, in this situation, if that person, for example, let's say pastor didn't say that, and I also did not tell the person that it was pastor that said it. Now that person, if he doesn't walk up to me and ask why, you probably think that I'm partial and I love the other person. You understand? So sometimes you walk up to your leader, and let me tell you something that pastor had told me to do certain things that I can't even tell the people. Because how do I say that? I said you don't sing, you don't lead worship well. You understand? So there are times, there are some things that we can't actually explain to people. We can't explain to our members. There's a way we will explain to them, but it can't be direct. So sometimes walk up to your leader and say, why did you, even though I thought I did it very well or whatever, why did you not allow me to do this thing? The leader will now say, okay, this is the reason. If your leader doesn't give you a cogent reason, then you know that, okay, your leader is being partial towards you. But first thing you need to do before you establish a case of partiality is walk up to that person. Let them know that this is the way you feel. That I felt that, and there are many times that you actually feel that you did well, but your leader is saying that no, you didn't do well. There was something else that your leader was looking out for. And then I say, oh wow. So when you do that, it helps you to minimize any idea that, oh, maybe the leader is partial, blah blah blah. Now, if it now becomes established that the leader is partial, you won't be the only one to establish that fact. That's one. Number two, even if other people will establish that the leader is partial, it must not be that you are the one that sold that idea to their minds. Let them be the one to decide based on certain things that they are seeing. So if that leader is now partial like that, how do you now handle it? All of you should first of all go and meet that leader and say, sir or ma, we love you, we celebrate you, but we feel like you are partial. A very sensible leader, by the time you see 5 people come to meet you over time expressing the same thing, you know that you need to change in certain ways. If it does not change, go and meet the leader of the leader. There's a pastor in charge of that. Go and meet that person. How's that to handle it?
There's someone that I think this will be the last question before we call it a wrap. He said, Sir Tommy, there's a question I have. Why did some people in the choir feel lackadaisical during rehearsal? The more I try to make them serious, the more they feel offended. Please, how do you address this quickly in few minutes?
Okay. Sir Benga, are you the MD? If you are the MD, you can't make them serious, You are the MD, you make them to be unlackadaisical.
Unlackadaisical.
If you have, yes, whatever it is. So let's say that maybe they come late to rehearsal. Why are they coming late to rehearsal? Address it. Teach them why they come late for rehearsal. If they come late, bench them and tell them they are not going to sing. If they want to go and report you, they should go and report you. If they are messing up in rehearsal, let them know. Establish culture in the choir that in this choir, when we are rehearsing, we are serious, we sing well. If they are unserious, tell them to excuse you. If choir will not sing on Sunday because of that, let choir not sing. But please, what I want to say is that as the MD, stop acting like you are helpless. Like these people are the ones spoiling this choir. I don't know what to do. No. You are the leader. You are the one that determines. If Barry wakes up tomorrow and said that nobody is going to work tomorrow, everybody will sit in their house. Even if you have a job interview tomorrow, that interview will hold. So as the leader, you determine what happens. So if people are giving off wrong attitude, address that wrong attitude. They are feeling offended. They should leave the choir now. Why are they feeling offended?
Hey.
Yeah, God, defended me.
Feeling offended. That means they are being petted. They are petting them to work for God, to serve God. Oh.
So see, there are people will be offended. Oh, please don't be afraid to offend people. There are many things that pastor preaches on the pulpit. There are many times that as he's preaching the message, he's choking your body, but you know it's the truth. Not every message that is tweaking your body now. Is it every message your pastor is on stage that sometimes it offends you, but it's the truth. So let them be offended.
Tommy Tush, wow, what a wonderful time again. We can't just recover from all this. My notes are filled up. I'm sure that everyone here has a lot to take home with. The truth of it is that I want us to really, really know is that there's no how you can be in the choir without being a praying choir member. I think we have taken prayer out of our choir. I think it's now for us to take them in. One of the solutions to this strife thing is prayer. Let's be prayer conscious, and let's intercede in the place of prayer. That sister, that brother, that MD, that instrumental that is giving you a headache, why don't you take it to the place of prayer? I'm not saying you should go and pray, they should fall down and die. No, that's not the kind of prayer I'm telling you about. No, not before that and die, not be so. I'm talking a prayer that comes from a place of love and pray, and God might use you to solve that situation. Yeah. And let's start from the, I don't think there's anything that defiles prayer. Let's try prayer first. So I'm putting it up to you today. Go down on your knees from tonight and start praying for your choir. Right from tonight. Yes, I mean tonight. Start praying for that choir. And watch it like in the next 3 months. I mean prayer will not be smooth. My prayer, as in serious, fervent prayer. And see if there will be no changes. And, I believe that God is going to step in and turn the situation around. Please follow our social media and Tommy Tush is there. In case you have questions, there are some questions that are very particular and customized for your choir that might not cut across the mainstream. You might need a counsel on that. Please feel free to chat me up, chat Tommy Tush up. We are there to help because this is our passion. This is something that we want to see choir work. We want to reduce as eradicate, at least to the barest minimum, strife. We want to see an happy choir. We want to see a choir that ministers and they can really know that they are in sync, in one. And there's something Tom Tush said the last time. He said an anointed choir. A united choir is an anointed choir. And that should be our goal. A united choir is an anointed choir. So I'm leaving you with that. So Tom Tush, in 2 minutes, a last word, parting words from you, please.
All right, so this is my parting word to everybody, and it's just 3 words. Choose your battles. Choose your battles. There are some things that are not worth addressing in that choir. Don't bother addressing it. Don't bother fighting it. Many times you are fighting some battles you have in the choir. You don't need to allow it to go. When some people come for you, the Bible says that when they slap your right cheek, turn your left cheek. Yeah, there are times where you have to turn that left cheek. Choose your battles. Some people, they are not worth you fighting. When they bring some complaints to you, when they bring some issues on your table as MD, just dismiss it. Don't start trying to what happened. How do we settle it? Let's call this. Choose your battles. May God.
Amen. The flesh and blood cannot reveal that to the Spirit of God. Break it down and pieces it for you to understand. God bless you all. We will still be having this choir drama series. Next episode, watch out for my space. We're having another wonderful topic. Yes, another wonderful man of God also will be here to talk to. We'll keep doing this until. Bless you, everybody. Love from Shekinah. God bless you. Have a wonderful week. I love you all. Bye. Bye. So I'll leave you up with this song from Tommy Tush, Oba, a powerful worship song that I've been blessing my spirit all day. God bless you as you listen to it.
Worship the King tonight. Oba. Oba Mimo, Oba Pipe, Oba Soto, unquestionable God. In your all happiest seat. Whatever your language is, come on, just hail your King tonight. This worship is for Him. Hey. Come on, somebody just bless Him tonight.